Hello, Scorpio. This is going to be your April 2019. I almost forgot what year it is. April 2019 General Tarot reading. And as usual, I'm using the Spiral deck for your basic cards, and then the Gaian Tarot for your clarifiers. And before I get started with your reading, I just wanted to make a quick announcement that I recently launched a Facebook page for the channel. And so if anyone's interested to go check it out, go for it. It's called Cosmic Vibrations, and it's a page on YouTube. If you've been following me for a while, go ahead and like it. Hopefully in the future, I'll get to a point where I'm more prosperous, where I have some extra free time, because I want to start expanding the channel and putting more things on here. I actually have a astrology class curriculum that I developed years ago, like 10 years ago, and I used to teach it to people in person. I would have actual classes in my home, or sometimes people would host it. And so I wanted to actually put it on here for free for just anyone who's interested in astrology or would like to learn more about it. But I'm not at a point yet to be able to devote the time and energy to doing that just yet. And I also wanted to say thank you for the people who have donated to my channel, who have been following me, that support me, that appreciate me. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. And because I've reached past 1,000 subscribers at this point, I would like to see it continue to grow a little bit quicker, because this has been up since last July. And so it hasn't been a year yet, but for a long time there, it just seemed like it was stuck between like 300 to 600 subscribers. It took forever for that climb, but it seems to be quickening now. And so if you are up for it, maybe you could share my channel with other people or tell other people about it. I would love to see my channel grow a little bit quicker. And for those of you that shut these off before you get to the end credits, at the end of each video, there's a little end credit section, usually with music, that has my email for personal readings and any other information you might need. So yeah, and also my email, I think, is in the about section of the channel itself too. So okay, now that all that is out, I'm going to show you your cards, and then I'll get started. So your central experience for April. This is for Scorpio rising, sun, and moon, by the way. And of course, this may or may not resonate for you. If it doesn't, you may want to check out your other two videos out of your rising, sun, and moon. See if any of those resonate for you better. So your central experience for April is the Four of Swords. Your challenge. This is actually a really extraordinary reading, you guys. You can't really tell completely from the original cards, but when you see it with the clarifiers, it's pretty amazing. Your challenge this month is strength. What is helping you is the Ace of Pentacles. At the core or root of your being, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I had an exploding teapot, or a teapot exploded on my hand while I was doing dishes, and so that's what all that's about. These are my daughter's Finding Dory band-aids. So what you're coming away from is the Nine of Cups. Pretty nice, you guys, really. Your best possible outcome is the Sun, coming up for you in the near future. You have the Three of Cups. You right now are the Fool. You have quite a few major arcana in here. In your surroundings, you have the Hermit. Your hopes are for the Ten of Cups. And your general outcome is the Star. So let's see, you have 5 major arcanas out of 11, out of just your original ones. It's kind of a big deal. It seems like you're going through a major cycle this month. If you hear weird noises in the background, that's my dog. For your central experience for April, oh, the lighting's a little strange. Here we go. Let's see if I can angle it right. You have the Four of Swords and the Child of Water, otherwise known as the Page of Cups. I got a basic gist of this, but I also got a ton of specifics. And so I'm just going to throw the specifics out there and be done with them. One specific is that there may be a few of you watching or somebody watching where you have a very small child, either a baby or a toddler, a child under 5. And this child, even though they're wonderful and you're glad that this child is in your life, they're running you ragged. You perhaps haven't been sleeping enough, and you need more rest if you're going to properly take care of this child. This is reminding me of that old folk saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes grandparents, it takes aunts and uncles, it takes dear friends, other parents that are willing on exchanging play dates or helping out with childcare. It seems as if perhaps for somebody watching, you're the main caregiver of this child. And it's just, what are you doing, buddy? What was I saying? It's just too much. You're not getting enough rest. So if this is the case for somebody, you need to reach out and ask for help. You know, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes multiple people so that mom or dad or whoever, or grandparents even, are just not completely exhausted all the time. You need to rest more. It may even be for somebody that you're in the first trimester of pregnancy where it makes you extremely tired and you're happy about the fact that you're having a child and you're excited about it, but you're just so incredibly tired, where you need to rest more, take more naps so that your body can build this baby properly. Don't overdo it. Try not to overwork yourself. If none of that is going on, and this doesn't actually have to do with a child, it could even, well, I mean, if it did have to do with a child, it could even be for somebody that your child is not sleeping well, or your child is waking up a lot in the middle of the night, or possibly even has nightmares or night terrors, or they're just, they're not able to settle down well. Make sure that the sleeping area is nice and calm and quiet, and where there aren't a million toys in their bedroom to distract them, or too many brightly colored things, or you may need to get some help with this to make sure that your child's getting enough rest. So that aside, if this wasn't a child, this could be saying that you're ready for some play in your life, and you're ready for a vacation, or you're ready for some kind of a rest. And this Child of Water reminds me of sentimental memories, especially for me because I grew up going to the ocean frequently. My grandpa had a house next to the ocean. He used to take me out as a child a lot, every weekend, to the ocean. This reminds me of happy, sentimental memories of walking up and down the beach, picking up beach glass or seashells, or finding a pretty pebble that shines in the water. Those happy memories of playful times, of being able to relax, of just enjoying life. You want this back again. I feel as if perhaps you have been lacking this, or you feel as if you have somehow lost that somewhere along the way. Maybe you got too caught up with goals or things that you were doing, or just the general upkeep of everything on a daily basis, or something where you truly really need this again. You need to recreate those memories, create new memories that are like this. And so you may need to take a break temporarily. You may need to make sure you're resting enough, that you're sleeping enough, that you're taking the time for the little things in your life that make you glad to be alive, or that create new memories for yourself. It can also be saying that for some of you, there may have been a dear soul that has appeared in your life. I'm getting this specifically romantically. I don't really know why, but I'm getting that for a bunch of you, you may have had a dear soul appear in your life that is inviting you to do things like this with them, or that wants to see you get out of your shell, or wants to see you enjoy yourself, and has been possibly inviting you to do things like this with them. This could be a dear friend too. It doesn't have to be romance. This could be a dear friend of yours that's been reaching out to you recently, saying, hey, I'm going to the hot springs. Would you like to come with me? Or I'm going to the forest on a walk. Would you like to come with me? And for whatever reasons with the first scenario, if this is romantic invitations, it seems as if you need to think about it first. Maybe you just feel as if you need to see, see how you feel about all this, or if this person is really as genuine as you think they are, or whether or not, if you invest time into this person, whether or not they'll stick around. And take your time with that. You don't need to jump into anything. You can take your time feeling things out. Or it may just be that you've been stuck in some kind of a rut where you come up with excuses on why you can't go out with friends, or why you can't go out and have these experiences, where you say, oh, I think I'm just going to go to bed early. No, not this time. Or I have to do the dishes, so maybe not this time, maybe next time. But if that's the case, and you feel as if, I'm almost getting a feeling of lethargy, like you just don't have the energy, even though you want to do this. But I'm getting that if you actually pushed yourself and just went, something about the experience would make you feel less lethargic or less exhausted. So it's one of those catch-22 things. If you can just bring yourself to go with them, even though you feel tired, once you're there, you won't feel tired anymore. So you may even be having to deal with some health issues for some of you. You may be feeling as if you're on the verge of getting sick, or you're noticing that you're either sleeping way more than you normally do, or you're not sleeping enough, or something about your mind needs to still itself, where you just need to relax your mind and go with the flow of things rather than overthinking things or overusing your brain. If you work with technology, if you work with a lot of EMFs or a lot of electromagnetic frequencies, like if you're around a lot of electronics a lot, you may need to make sure that you're taking a certain amount of time every day to shut all that stuff off, or to go back out into nature again to absorb some of that overload that your body is taking on, possibly without you even realizing it. It may be at the point now where you're spending so much time around electronics or electrical energy that it's kind of zapping you of your energy and you're feeling more tired than you normally do. So in that case, get out more, go have fun, go out into the natural elements where there's less EMFs around. And also, concerning EMFs in your home, you may need to devote, especially when you're sleeping at night, you need to shut all that stuff off. Shut off your modem, shut off your phone, make sure that everything is shut off, so that you're being able to sleep at night without those frequencies going through your body or your brain. So Yeah. Hopefully this is making sense, you guys. Okay. So, your challenge this month. This is another thing in here that's leading me to believe that perhaps for a number of you Scorpionic people, you're having to deal with health issues or something's going on with your body. So your challenge is strength. I got really specific stuff with this. That was like your back is hurting, your joints are hurting, your bones might be hurting. You might not be as flexible as you normally are, where you feel more stiff, or you feel sore, or you just have been doing too much physically. For any of you that have a very physical job where you run around a lot, you do a lot of physical things, you need to take care of your body better. It's you might. I mean, I'm kind of familiar. I have a Scorpio moon and a lot of Scorpionic energy. Sometimes I think that I'm invincible, and I forget that I'm a human mortal, and that sometimes my body just hurts, and you've got to take care of it. So you do not have a limitless supply of energy right now. You need to be careful about how you're treating your body. You need to take some time out to make sure that you're meditating, or that you're stretching, or that you're resting your mind. And this is reminding me of this again. Both of these people are resting their mind. They're both stilling their bodies and tuning in to just relax. I'm getting a lot of relaxation and a lot of opening up and trusting the natural energy of things without feeling the need to figure things out or do anything in particular, to just allow yourself to be. And most definitely stretching, eating well, resting enough, taking care of yourself, realigning yourself. Something might be out of alignment. You might have a joint slightly out of place, or your body's a little bit out of alignment. You may need to realign your body a little bit. You might even need to go and get a massage or an acupuncture treatment or something, some kind of treatment that can help you get realigned again. You may need to go to a chiropractor, for somebody watching, to get literally your spine realigned. But if you do that, if you get your spine realigned by a chiropractor, you need to follow it up with stretches that help it to stay there. Otherwise, it'll just go back to where it was before. So your challenges, to me, feel like exhaustion this month. Or don't push yourself too much. Don't do too much. Don't think that you're invincible, because you're not. There's only so much that you can actually physically do before your body starts to be sore. So, and when it comes to asserting yourself, if you need to assert yourself more, try not to not do this enough, as in not asserting yourself, and try not to assert yourself too much. It may be that other people may be perceiving you as being a little too pushy, or a little too bossy, or a little bit too strong. Or it could be the other way around, where you may feel as if you're not speaking up enough, you're not laying down your boundaries enough, you're not asserting yourself enough. Either way this goes, remember that balance is the key. And if you're going to be jumping into any kind of situations where you have to assert yourself, align yourself beforehand. This is kind of like performers that have to breathe deeply for 30 seconds or something before they walk out onto stage. It's like gathering yourself together so that you can do what you need to do. So make sure you're doing this first before you take action. And even though this is a challenge, this is not stopping you. This is not going to be your downfall or anything. It's just a challenge. So utilize your time well. What is helping you? You have the Ace of Pentacles and the Gardener, otherwise known as the Emperor, or I'm sorry, the Emperor, the Empress. So the Gardener looks as if she has planted a seed, and the seed has turned into a tree. The things that she has implemented, the things that she has used her imagination on, the things that she has taken good care of are growing and creating a massive amount of abundance in lots of different ways, whether it's physical abundance, monetary abundance, emotional abundance, abundance of all kinds. She seems extremely happy and blessed that she has nurtured this seed. And for somebody who's watching, if you're pregnant, you are taking care of yourself really well, and this baby is going to be super healthy, and you feel really happy about this. This may have actually even been a child that you've been wanting for a long time, or a pregnancy that you have been wanting to have for a long time. And if this isn't pregnancy, this is you feeling extremely accomplished, happy, blessed, and joyful over your nurturing of your own creativity. And you have, your babies are taking off, your seeds are taking off, things are growing, money is growing, love is growing, all different kinds of things are growing. If this seed for some reason stayed small for a long time and you weren't sure if it was ever going to really grow, it's most definitely growing now and making up for lost time. This could be finding a dream job or a dream house or a dream home, a dream location, a dream situation that she has always wanted, and now it's here. And this is what's helping you. So pretty good, you guys. If you have had health issues, it seems like it's very possible for you to heal yourself or to get better. So at your root, hang on one moment, I'll be right back. Here I am. My dog's being really noisy, so hopefully it won't be too distracting. I'm going to try to speak a little louder. So at the root of your being, looks pretty good to me. You have the two nines. You have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Water. And you also had the 9 of Fire. And you also have the Major Arcana 9, the Hermit, in here. So it seems like you're wrapping up an old cycle, or you're finishing something off. This looks like a pretty nice finishing off, though. It looks as if with the 9 of Pentacles, you have put a lot of your time and energy into creating something. In her case, it's a big, beautiful garden that she planted from seeds. It's reminding me of what's helping you, which is the Gardener with her magical seed. So yeah, you've been putting a lot of your time and energy and focus on creating something. And it seems as if it's fully created now, or it's at its fullest point of manifestation. And now you're wrapping up this cycle and you're extremely happy about it. You have the 9 of Water, which is feeling as if your wishes have been granted. You know, I find this depiction of it extremely fascinating because it looks as if this woman went into a cave that has running water inside of it. This is a cave that has a little stream or a creek inside of the cave. And it looks as if you delved deep. You went in deep into the cave for possibly some answers, or for clarity or inspiration. And it looks as if you have received inspiration, or you received an answer to a question that you had. Or you just feel really blessed. Now she's coming out of the cave, and there's the opening where the sunlight is pouring in. She's right at the in-between time, where the opening is in sight. If she wants to go out, she can, but she's fully enjoying her experience one last time before she walks back out into the world. It looks as if you feel extremely fulfilled and happy about some kind of a huge breakthrough, or you're ready to come out of that time now, back out into the world. You're ready to possibly start something new now. Or you feel re-inspired, or you feel as if your wishes have been granted because of this wonderful manifestation of everything, or culmination or harvest of everything you've put your energy into. If you've been needing something to happen, it feels as if it's happening now. In both of these pictures, the person is alone, but it looks like she's perfectly happy alone. Not to say that you're alone or you'll be alone for a long time, as in a literal meaning here, but it seems like you feel whole. You feel comfortable in your own skin. You feel whole. You feel accomplished. You feel as if something has come full circle or full cycle with something you've been pouring your emotional, your physical energy into, and your action steps into. Looks pretty amazing. So here's another 9 of Cups. You have 2 9s of Cups in here. One is at the core of your being. You're feeling extremely grateful and happy. You're coming out of the cave now. The dark time is over now. You've received some kind of an illumination. And, oh, here we go. Hey. Oh, okay. What you're coming away from. You have the 9 of Cups and the Guardian of Fire, otherwise known as the Queen of Wands. I like the term guardian because he definitely seems like he is the guardian of the sacred fires, or passion, or love, or impetus. He looks very devoted to his role as making sure that the fire continues to stay lit and tended. You know, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I find it really interesting that there's a lynx in the background, or a bobcat. And he doesn't seem, he's either not aware of the fact that the bobcat is there, or he is aware of it being there, but he doesn't feel threatened by it. And the bobcat doesn't seem as if it's watching him because it wants to pounce or hurt him in any way. It looks like it's seeing him, it looks as if it's seeing his spirit and appreciating this person. It's like the bobcat has stumbled across this guardian of the fire and is appreciative of his role, or senses that his energy is good. I mean, even if you just look at him, doesn't he look like he would be a really kind, comforting, kind of jolly, good-humored person that would uplift people's spirits, or help people to feel better when they're sad, or to tend to the love in any situation to make sure that love is still there? It seems as if you truly value this energy. And you may have even felt as if wishes have been granted, or you have received what you've been wishing for, and it's either for an actual person that shows these qualities. From him, even though he's technically fire, and fire isn't necessarily known for its patience the way that earth is, he seems very patient to me. He takes his role seriously, he or she. These don't have to be any particular gender here. But it seems as if you either you have been taking this role seriously of maintaining warmth, of making sure that things are tended, that you're an uplifting force for others, that you're a good guide or a good guardian of making sure that people are treating each other well or appreciate what they have. And you've also been doing this for yourself as well. You've gotten really clean with yourself on what your values are or what is meaningful to you, and to tend those things, to be a guardian of those things. This can also be extreme happiness over the loyalty in general, but I'm getting loyalty from someone. Someone is very protective of you and very loyal to you, and you feel almost like you can't believe it, or maybe for a while you doubted this sincerity, but it seems as if you have realized this person is actually really genuine, and you need to value this person. You don't come across people like this every day, or if you do, you value this, you appreciate this, you want to see this grow more. My goodness. If you've had to take some kind of a leadership role where you have had to tend to things to make sure that the energy feels right, you've done a really good job and you're appreciated for what you do. And this makes you feel extremely blessed. So this is what you're coming from. This reading is really nice, you guys. Okay, your best possible outcome. You have the Sun with the Six of Air, otherwise known as the Six of Swords. You know what? I'm going to flip these and tell you what I discovered about this card, because I've only been reading the book that goes with this Gaian Tarot sparsely every now and then, with ones that make me curious on what's going on in them. And I was curious about this sixth. Oh my gosh, it's so loud from him. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, I'm going to keep trying. I read about this Six of Air because I was extremely curious. Ozzy. Ozzy, no. Go play with something else, buddy. Sorry, you guys. Okay. I was curious about what's going on in this picture, and I read it, and it said that this is actually a ceremony. I forget what it said it was called, but this is invoking and praying as the sun rises in the morning. It's saluting the sun, and I actually have met people who do this as a spiritual practice. Every single morning at sunrise they do this, or when they get up in the morning and the sun is shining. And so one person is drumming. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Okay, he's still hyped up. I took him out for a walk and he's still hyped up, so hopefully I'll be able to pull this off. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of wet snow outside. We just came in. It's kind of cool. It's like glitter or sparkles or something, or stars. Anyway, sorry you guys. So where were we? We were here. With saluting the sun. This is a ceremony. I've known people that do it by themselves. I've known people that do it with anyone who happens to be around while they're doing it. And people who do it in groups too. So this is the sun rising in the morning. One person is praying, one person is playing the drum, and a bunch of people are saluting the sun, saying, "Thank you, sun, for warming us, for coming up every single morning, for helping to create the plants and the things that we need in order for things to grow. And thank you for love." You know, the sun card is a Leo card. Leo rules the heart. The sun is our particular star that's the heart of our solar system. The planets all revolve around the sun. If you were looking at the solar system from above, you would see that it creates a giant circle with the planets, and the sun is in the center of the circle. And the asteroids and other bodies, they go on an elliptical orbit that kind of creates a flower pattern from above. But basically, this is being grateful for warmth. We're being grateful that we have fixed laws or fixed forces in the universe that hold everything together. We just automatically assume that the sun will rise every day, that the moon will come up almost every night, that we take certain things for granted sometimes that are extremely essential for us to even be alive. You know, for people who live in northern climates, where the sun is rare or the sun is occasional, it's not something that is taken for granted every day. Like, it makes me think of people, what it must be like for people that live in places like Alaska, where half of the year there is no sun and half of the year it's only sun. And I'm getting a real true appreciation for the positive, beneficial forces that exist in the universe that help to hold everything together. That life, we still wake up in the morning alive until it's time for us to go. And even after we're gone, those things will still be there. But because it's a group of people, and it's because it's harmony of thought or harmony of the mind, or a balanced mind with the 6 of air here, I'm getting you feel very supported. You feel like you belong. You feel like there are people out there that understand you and are on a similar wavelength as you, or do similar creative things as you. Sorry, I can't, if I stopped this, I might not get back to it. And whenever that has happened in the past, I can't pick up where I left off the next day. I need to start all over. I've come so far with this already. I just have to keep on going. You'll just have to bear with the dog noises in the background. But I'm getting you feel like you belong. You found people that are like-minded or have similar values as you, and you feel extremely uplifted and happy about this. And this is reminding me, because, it's people saluting the sun with the sun right in front of them. It's people being grateful for their happiness or the warmth. And this is reminding me of, because this is at your topmost part of your tree in your Celtic cross. This is your highest potential in the situation. Directly opposite it, down at your root of your being, you have this woman that's coming out of the cave into the bright sunlight. She looks like she's saluting the sun. She looks like she sees the opening with the sun pouring through, and she's saying, she just feels extremely grateful and is honoring the sunlight right now, the contrast between dark and light, or both are necessary and both are valuable. But it's reminding me of saluting the sun. And then you also have the guardian of fire. The sun, after all, is a giant fireball. And this is guarding the warmth or guarding the love or the creativity. Why is it pink? Weird. He's truly appreciative of the element of fire, of its ability to warm as well as its ability to burn or destroy. It also has the ability to create. He's very respectful of that fact, that both of those aspects are one and the same. They're both fire. That you can choose to use the very same thing that could be destructive to be constructive, or to warm a cold night outside. So, yeah. This is your best possible outcome. So, oh, and I did get something. If you have been having some health issues, and if it's been a challenge to have vitality or consistent vitality, it seems as though for your best possible outcome, you have plenty of vitality and you feel grateful because you can heal yourself, or you feel better now as your best possible outcome. Or I'm even getting for a bunch of you, this may be starting a new spiritual practice that's also a health practice. Like, I don't know, joining a yoga class, or joining a meditation class, or something that brings people together to help them not only be more healthy spiritually, but to be more healthy physically. And by joining a group that also does those things, it's a great motivator. I don't know about you guys, but I have definitely found that if there's a group of people doing it, it's a lot easier for me to do it with them than by myself. So this may be saying you might find a group that can help your health or help you with your vitality, or that simply even just encourage you along that path of improving your health or improving your vitality or getting your vitality back, that are positive and uplifting and help you feel encouraged. Now he's chasing his tail. I don't know, maybe it was that long nap he took. He's just wired right now. So here you go again, you guys. There's a real emphasis on Leo and fire signs in here because you have strength. You have the guardian of fire, which is technically Aries, but strength and the sun are both ruled by Leo, and you have two suns in here. So you guys, in the near future, you have the sun and the Three of Cups. So again, similar thing. You have found like-minded people, or you have found very loyal, true friends that are extremely uplifting and supportive of one another. Or there's simply just a reason to celebrate. You may be celebrating something big, some kind of breakthrough you've had, or the ending culmination of a cycle has come to a good harvest, or your seed is finally growing well and becoming something much bigger than possibly you thought it would. You're most definitely finishing up a cycle, but it seems as if it's a happy ending, or your culmination is extremely amazing because of all of your energy that you have put into it. There's some reason to celebrate. You may be going to a wedding. You might be going to a celebration of some kind, a graduation, a wedding, a birth, or even just simply enjoying your own harvest or enjoying your own outcome, your happy outcome to everything you've poured your energy into it. And it looks like not only are you ecstatic about this, but other people are ecstatic for you, or celebrating with you your own happiness or your own health. Or this could be just celebrating alliances, happiness, and creativity, and love that is shared between people. Celebration, celebrating, feeling happy, feeling like you are supported, or you found true people that you can really relate to, or there's some kind of major celebration coming up. Yeah, you have plenty of vitality and happiness in the future. You look ecstatic. Pretty amazing, you guys. This can also be celebrating a child. If you are pregnant, or especially if you've been wanting a child for a long time, or if you've just had a baby, it seems as if people are celebrating with you about this child, or your newfound happiness, or your much anticipated happy ending. or a culmination. Looks good. You're shining. You feel radiant. Okay. I got for someone, this may be extreme happiness over newfound romance, not just for yourself, but for somebody watching. It seems like maybe you have a close group of friends and you all have been single for a long time or have dated off and on but not been able to find your person. And for some reason, everybody around you, including you, are finding their people now. I got that for someone, where you found happiness with romance, your best friend has, their friend has, everybody's falling in love or finding fun romance that makes them happy all around the same time. Or it may be that you, along with several of your closest friends, all find out that you're expecting babies around the same time. Something like that for someone. If that's the case, then congratulations. That sort of thing doesn't happen every day. Or not only are you doing really well, the people that you love are doing really well too, and everyone's just happy for everyone. So you right now, you have the Ace of Air in with the Fool. You're about to start a brand new beginning. And this new beginning is based off of a brilliant idea that you have. You may have been struck with inspiration and you've come up with an ingenious, brilliant new idea. And if you pursue this new idea, it seems as if you are meant to pursue this new idea and it will become something. Or this could just be an inkling within you that everything is changed now, or everything is about to be changed now in a good way. You're on to a completely new cycle. It does involve trust and faith because you've never done this before. This butterfly, it just came out of the cocoon. It's drying its wings. It's never flown before. This is its first experience being a butterfly now. It just came out of the cocoon. That's reminding me of this woman coming out of the cave. You're coming out of your cocoon. You're busting out like the sun. You're extremely grateful for this. You're out on the other side of the transformation now. You're drying your wings and you're getting to a point where you're realizing this is it. This is the beginning. It's a completely new world now. You're on a completely new path now, on a completely new journey now. You're coming out from going within and coming back out into the world. You can almost imagine the Fool as coming out of that cave and now he's outside again. And you're deciding to follow your brilliant idea or your dream. Looks pretty amazing. In your surroundings, you have the Two of Air and you have the Hermit. It seems as though in your surroundings you're kind of going within every now and then, which is good to see because you do have this as your central experience for the month. It is time for you to rest, or it is time for you to go within. Just because you're busting out as your best possible outcome and in your future, and you have the Gardener as what's helping you, or the Empress as what's helping you, you still need to take time to do this too. Or you may just need extra rest right now because everything is changing and it's a lot to adjust to. You know, if you've been in a cave for a while, you've gotten used to the dark, and when you first come out into the light, it can blind you, or it's hard to orient yourself and adjust to the sudden light. And so this is an adjustment period where you're drying your wings, you're adjusting your eyeballs to the sudden blast of sunlight. And so every now and then you're still going to need to go within and listen. but I see you as listening to your own inner promptings as well as listening to your environment. This woman is listening to the little birds chirp and paying attention to the subtleties of how things sound in order to possibly tune in to herself or receive ideas or answers from within. She's listening carefully to her environment, listening to the general climate of how things feel, listening to tones, listening to the subtleties. You're definitely paying attention in your surroundings. You're viewing things, you're looking at things, you're observing, you're listening. And by taking the time to do this, you're finding answers or you're finding clarity. Things may be making more sense to you in your surroundings. Or there's important messages and they're subtle, and so you have to carefully listen or pay attention to be still enough to hear it. And your hope. Is that you did the right thing by trusting your intuition, because your intuition has been your guide this entire time. And you are definitely about to have your emotional harvest where you feel extremely ecstatically happy, or this is what you're hoping for, is that your intuition has led you well and that you will have your happy outcome that you've been wanting and striving towards. Or also to possibly hear happy news from someone that you consider extremely intuitive. Or receiving signs or messages, which you need to listen carefully for because they're subtle, but they lead you to believe that you're on the right track or that you're going to have your happy ending. Your general outcome is the Star, in with the Ace of Water, otherwise known as the Ace of Cups. And again, I'm seeing a brand new journey ahead of you, a journey that is feels extremely inspiring, and you feel more connected than you have in a while. And you're also making connections in your own different bodies, your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body. You seem pretty aligned. If you were somewhat out of alignment before, it seems as though your general outcome is you become aligned again. And extremely hopeful and positive about this new journey that you're about to begin. I see a lot of 9s in here, of completions of a cycle, and lots of beginnings in here. You have the Ace of Air, you have the Gardener, you have the 3 of Cups, you have the Ace of Water, you have the Ace of Pentacles. It's like you're leaving one world and entering a new world. But the leaving of the old world is actually bringing you a lot of happiness and returns. But this could be following new love, or a new feeling of love in your heart, or renewed love in your heart. This is a baby salmon in the Ace of Water. In the 10 of Water in this deck, it shows a dead skeleton of a salmon up on the shore, and then like 9 live salmon that are about to reach their spawning place. You know, the salmon spawn up north, then they travel a very long distance while they're growing and getting older downstream. And then when they feel as though it's going to be time for them to spawn again or lay their eggs and begin the cycle again, they start leaping up waterfalls and going against the current to get all the way back to their spawning place. And then begins another cycle of a new generation of salmon. Some of the salmon don't make it, along the way. Some jump out of the water accidentally, or they get killed by bears, or these days they get dammed up by dams and then baked because the sun is shining through the water so hotly that they don't even make it. But this represented a salmon making it. A salmon made it back enough to make this new salmon. And this new salmon is following its instincts and following the current. And eventually, someday, when this baby salmon is old enough, it's going to decide to turn back around and go back up. And it's a never-ending cycle. But this is the beginning of the cycle. This is the beginning of the journey. You have just hatched. Your new self has just hatched. And you're beginning a new journey. And this journey involves you following your higher self, or following a sense of connection, on believing and trusting that the universe will give you the signs along the way and guide you all that time. Even if it seems as if you're alone, you're not alone. You have beneficial forces in the universe looking out after you that want you to do well. And they will be guiding you along the way, whether you're aware of it or not. Being Scorpionic people, I'm sure you're aware of it a lot of the time. And if you have temporarily lost that feeling, it can come back again. It actually feels like it's coming back again now, of that sense of connection, that forces are looking out for you. You have such an emphasis on light and on the sun, or on the fire element in here. This reminds me that the star is a sun. It's just a sun that's far away. It's farther away than our sun. I think sometimes we forget that our sun is a star, and that stars out there in the night sky are actually faraway suns. So whether that is in your, I'm getting that it's both. You have a new feeling of vitality in your heart, and yet you also have community members or other suns around you that want the best for you and that shine on you, or are there for you along your journey. So I see you as becoming reconnected. And if you've already been connected, you're becoming even more connected. And that's saying a lot. So have hope, have faith, have trust that you're headed in the right direction, and that this new beginning isn't going anywhere. It's just the beginning. So I feel a real sense of healing from this. Well, hopefully that helped or made sense. I love you very much. And I will see you guys soon for your love readings, and then in the middle of the month, your mystery readings. So take care.